Welcome to the Calmer Self podcast. I'm Nadine. Join me to learn how to connect with the calmer version of yourself. I'll share with you my tips and coping strategies for reducing feelings of stress, overwhelm, and guilt so that you can live a productive life with ease and joy. And there'll be inspiration from other wellbeing therapists, experts in relaxation, and fellow calm crusaders.
What I want to discuss with you today, my sort of take on it, is actually asking for help. And I'd like to discuss with you 3 directions on this. So for a start, asking others for help. Then I'd like to perhaps give some thought to asking the universe, bigger than us, and then asking ourselves. So I'd like to, as I say, talk about those 3 directions on this topic. Words have power. Asking for help. So to start with, as I say, I'd like to say asking others. It's something that I wasn't very good at. I actually developed my Calmer Self method because I needed everything that I now teach, I needed for myself. I was in a chaotic life, I wasn't looking after myself. I didn't recognise I needed help for quite a long time, but when I did, I had no clue where to go, how to ask. So I'd like you to think about, if I was to say to you, ask someone for help, how does that make you feel? Just take a moment as you breathe, calmly, gently. As I say to you, ask someone for help. Think about asking for help. Notice what you notice. Feel what you feel. Now for me, it made me feel quite anxious. It made me feel nervous. I felt asking for help was a sign of weakness. I thought it made me vulnerable. I wasn't comfortable with it in every shape or form. But I've learned how to change. I've learned to see asking for help as something completely different than the way I felt before. And this is what I like to share with other people, how we can change how we feel and make it work for us. So asking for help of others, seeing it in a different way, if you do see it as something that is a weakness and a vulnerability, seeing it maybe as a strength, recognizing that you need help is a massive strength. It's normally a breakthrough for a lot of people I work with. So that is a blessing to know that you need help and recognise that. And then asking for it. Take a moment just to think about how we can actually ask for help. What words would we use? That made me quite nervous as well when I thought I need some help, but I don't know how to ask. I don't know what to say. So again, just think, take a breath for a moment and just tune in to how you feel when you think, I need to ask for help. Who do I ask? How do I ask? Thinking, feeling, what comes up for you. And have a little bit of thought around your language when you're asking for help. Think about if you give people a chance to help you. If you're uncomfortable asking, sometimes we straight away go, oh, I know you wouldn't help me, but please, So it's negative before we start. So thinking a little bit about the words that you use, maybe preparing what you're going to say will help you a little bit. And things like, can you help? Would you help? The way that I've learnt to be comfortable with it is actually to say, it would really help me if you could, whatever I'm asking for. That personally works for me. I feel that I'm sharing the fact that I really would like someone to help me. It would help me if you can help. And then just say clearly and concisely what I'm asking for. Took a bit of practice for me, but you can get more comfortable with it. And the other side of it is actually not being scared of being rejected, not being scared of someone saying, no, I can't help, or no, I don't want to. That is fine too. That's okay. For someone to turn around and say, no, I can't help you. That is okay. So just be ready for whatever answer comes and listen to the answer. Sometimes people are offering to help you when you've asked, and you've already said in your head, no, they're not going to help me, and you don't hear what they say. So again, listening goes hand in hand with speaking words. So again, just thinking about how you feel, having a little bit of practice on this direction of asking others for help. So the second part of this that I'd like to discuss with you is asking the universe for help. Biggie. Some of you might be very familiar with it and comfortable with the fact that there's bigger stuff around us. There's a lot going on that maybe we don't understand, we don't know about, which is wonderful. But actually putting it out there, asking the universe for help, is very powerful and very beneficial. How you do it is up to you. We can all find our own way, and that's fine. But it is worth recognising that there is so much out there to help us, not just people, but the universe. Nature helps us all the time. At this moment, we have just stepped into a new season. The leaves are falling off the trees. Nature is showing us what's beneficial for us at the moment. Nature is saying, let go, let the leaves shed, let go of what we don't want to take with us as we move forward. Nature is retreating a little bit, going inside. It's a time for contemplation, meditation. This is what naturally, as human beings, we are being invited to do, and it's a good time of year to do it. So nature is showing us all the time. The universe provides what we need. But again, we need to listen. We need to tune in. So it's that balance, yin and yang, speaking and listening. Very, very important. Noticing. So asking the universe, as I say, however you want to do it is up to you. Experiment, play with it. Saying words out loud, putting it out there is powerful. That is asking for help, and sometimes we are asking other people. You might put something on social media and say, help, I need something, I've got a problem, and people will help you. Do it whatever way works for you, but actually just saying something out loud to the universe, to the world, to nature, can be amazing, and it really pays dividends once you get comfortable with it. So I share with you something that I do as part of my positive morning routine. It's a bit of a ritual that I do every day, and it's a good little habit that I wouldn't be without, to be honest. So in the morning when I get up, I tend to connect with nature. I take a little moment to have a bit of a wander around my garden. Very lucky that I've got a garden and it's quite private. I can go out there and wander around in my nightie. I'm normally barefoot on the grass. I like to connect with the earth. And quite often, the day is coming to life. I'm starting to notice, hear the birds chirping. It's pure joy for me. I love it. But I will do a little bit of a ritual, as I say, my morning routine. And it is asking the universe. So what I do, I put a bit of movement into it as well, because movement is powerful. If we move our body as we speak, there is more power to it. So power in the movement. So what I do, as I say, I'm standing normally barefoot on the grass. I'm starting to notice the day come to life. I love it. Feeling connected. And what I do is I open my arms out wide and I say, I'm open to the love and abundance of the universe. And I'm looking up when I'm doing it. And then I just bring my hands to prayer position. I bow my head and my body and I say, thank you, life. So I'm actually anticipating that I'm going to get what I'm asking for. Fling my arms open. I'm open to the love and abundance of the universe. Thank you, life. And I do it 3 times. So one more time. I'm open to the love and abundance of the universe. Thank you, life. So that is very simple, but really powerful. For a start, I'm opening up physically and emotionally. I'm opening up this chest area, this heart space, this centre, welcoming in love and abundance from the universe. And then I'm moving forward in prayer position. So physically moving my body, powerful, but actually saying thank you. The optimism and the hope that I've received what I wanted. Doesn't matter if I've got anything specific in mind or not. If I have, I might say it out loud, and that's good. But if not, it's just the usual open, thank you, open, thank you. 3 times I do it in the morning. Doesn't take long, very simple, but very powerful. So I'd like to encourage you to have an experiment with that. Doesn't have to be in the morning, it can be any time at all. You don't have to be barefoot on the grass. But have a play around with it, give it a go. You never know. You never know. And again, be ready to receive, listen, notice. Because sometimes what you're asking for, you can miss. We can be caught up in the busyness of day-to-day life, and we're not listening. We're not noticing when the things that we want turn up, when opportunities present themselves to us. So again, that balance, that hand in hand, asking, listening, noticing. Again, very, very powerful. Now, the third direction I'd like to talk about on this topic, words have power, is asking yourself. Now, probably a lot of you have heard, we have all the answers that we need. They're inside us. If you're not familiar with that, you might think that's a bit strange. When I was first told that, I thought, not really. I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust my intuition. I wasn't in tune with myself. I wasn't listening. But I have learnt that actually that is so true. I know everything I need to know. Every decision that I need to make, the answer is within me. Sometimes if you're not familiar with it, it takes a bit of practice, it takes a bit of getting used to. But again, it's a habit, it's a way of feeling, a way of thinking, a way of doing things that is worth experimenting with, because it is so beneficial. Just to know that whatever decision you have to make, whatever you do, whatever you need, you know it in here. And it's being in line with your true soul purpose. It's tuning in to what's right for you. Maybe, if you like, it's a word that a lot of people are not comfortable with, but being a bit selfish, tuning into you. And think about that when you learn to trust yourself, when you learn to trust that you have the answers that you need. Your self-resilience builds, your self-value, self-worth builds, because you trust yourself. So as I say, it's a powerful, wonderful way to feel about your life and yourself. So it's really worth tapping into. So the meditation that is going to follow is part of my Calmer Self method that I teach my clients. When they need answers, when they're not sure about what path to take, maybe when they're blocked, creativity is blocked, they don't know what's going on, they're a bit still. I work with a lot of writers and artists and performers, and sometimes they're a bit stuck. So tuning into yourself and asking and listening again to the answer is very, very valuable, knowing what path to take, what decision to make. So as I say, it's part of my Calmer Self method, and the meditation is going to follow this, and you can join in and experience it. And I call it gentle questioning because it is just questioning in a very, very gentle way. So please do enjoy it in a moment when it's on. And just before we go on to the meditation, I'd like to share with you something that I think is truly amazing. I do quite a lot of work around mental health and well-being. I work in schools and workplaces quite often. And I don't want to be sexist, but I have found that men in particular find it quite difficult to ask for help, quite difficult to share their struggles and what they're going through and talk about it. And for that reason, I absolutely adore Joe Tracini. Now, if you haven't heard of him, I encourage you to look him up. He is amazing. He's wonderful. And he makes no secret of his struggles with addiction and his emotional health and well-being. And he says that actually on a daily basis, I think he says, he has voices in his head that tell him to kill himself. And that's pretty serious. That's a heavy thing to deal with every day. But he's quite funny. If you watch him, he's not doom and gloom. He's brilliant. But he says what he does, he's learnt how to cope with this, and what he does is he tells somebody else. And again, that's kind of asking for help, isn't it? You're sharing that. You're saying, got these voices, this is what's happening. And what he says, the very nature of actually telling someone else, saying it out loud, asking for help, however you want to look at it, takes the power away from those voices. So it doesn't happen, it stops them. So that is quite interesting to sort of think about. It's another little way of using words, the power that they have to actually combat. You know, we've all got a bit of self-talk going on, haven't we? Quite often it's critical. And just again, just think about a different way of handling that, what you do, how you cope with it. And as I say, I would encourage you to have a look at what he does. He's all over social media. He's amazing. Very uplifting, actually, and very funny. So the meditation will follow.
Here's a simple guided meditation for you. It's part of my Calmer Self method, and I call it gentle questioning. It's a chance for you to tune into your heart. Ask yourself the questions that you need to know the answers to, and listen to what comes up for you. It's a powerful process. So, as always, don't use this meditation if you're driving or if you need to have your attention anywhere. Get yourself comfy, make sure that you're safe, and settle yourself down. If you're sitting, make sure your feet are on the ground. Don't have your legs crossed or arms folded or anything, just nice and relaxed in your posture. If you're reclining, so much the better. Make sure you're comfy, supported with cushions, maybe a blanket nearby if you get a bit chilly, some water to hand. Start to settle yourself down wherever you are, sitting, reclining, doesn't matter. Just settling yourself down, starting to tune into your breathing. That's a lovely way to calm and soothe yourself. And as you start to breathe, just notice your inhalation. We don't need to take a deep breath in, just gentle and soft as you breathe in. And then really enjoy your exhalation, long, deep and slow. The exhalation is the part that naturally relaxes you, so focus on that bit of the breath. So in your own time, as you breathe in, just soft and gentle with your breath, and as you exhale, really enjoy that like a soothing stroke, or imagine your breath like gentle waves just trickling in as you breathe in, and lovely going back out to see the power of the waves. Whatever imagery works for you, just breathing in your own time, soothing and settling yourself. Settle yourself into this stillness, this peace and this calm, and relax into the rhythm of your breath. Inhale when you're ready, soft and gentle, and exhale long, deep and slow, like a soothing stroke all the way down your body. And just take a moment just to scan your body, notice how you're feeling from your head all the way down. Just notice how your head feels, if you feel supported, your neck and your shoulders. Allow your face to soften, your brow, your eyes, your jaw. Notice how your throat feels and your chest. And as you breathe, just breathe into any tension or discomfort. And as you exhale, you can just soften and soothe and settle. Notice how your shoulders and your shoulder blades feel. Your back, the small of your back and your tummy, just tune in as you breathe to the areas of your body one by one, inviting relaxation and letting tension go as you exhale. Notice how your hips feel, your thighs, your knees, soothing yourself, every part of your body with your breath as you relax. bring your attention to your calves and your shins, and soothe and settle as you breathe. Your ankles, your feet and your toes, maybe feeling as if they're a bit heavier, sinking into the softness beneath them. Your feet firm on the ground if you're sitting, connecting with the earth. If you're reclining, just feel safe and supported by the softness beneath you. Notice how your arms and your hands and your fingers feel. And if you want to have a little wiggle just to settle yourself down a bit more, now is the time to do so. And I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. If not, just lower your gaze. And just notice how your body has settled, feeling soothed by your breath. A bit more relaxed, a bit more at peace. And now invite your mind to follow your body, sinking into the stillness, into the relaxation. There's nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to be doing. If your mind wanders, that's okay, it's normal. Just notice when it goes and gently, with a sense of humour, just bring it back and focus on your breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Your breath is always there for you to focus you. It's your anchor. Notice how it feels. Bring your attention to your breath. And as you breathe in your own time, the next time you're ready to take a breath in, just imagine, if you can, that that breath is entering your body into your heart centre, into your chest area. And as you exhale, just settling and soothing with that breath. So again, just breathing in when you're ready into your heart centre, love and light and energy entering your heart, your chest. And then as you exhale, it's as if everything's just sinking and settling downwards. If it helps you to focus on this area, then rest your palms on your chest if you want to. I like to do that. Helps me just focus. And just breathe in and out in your own time, at your own speed. Visualizing the breath in to your heart centre, love, light and energy, welcoming it in. And as you exhale, just soothing and settling as you go. As you're breathing like this, just enjoy that feeling. You might see colours, you might feel emotions, and that's fine. Focus on your breath. Don't worry if you're not seeing anything or feeling anything particularly, just enjoy the roll and the rhythm of your breath. But if you are seeing colours or any images or noticing emotions, as you breathe in, just see your breath as if it's powerful and it can ignite those feelings and those colours and make them brighter and stronger and more vibrant, tuning into your heart centre. And again, every time you exhale, you can just soothe and settle your emotions if they get too much. Just let the colours, if you're seeing them, just fade a little bit, settling yourself down with every exhalation. And just continue this lovely roll of breath, breathing into your heart centre, focusing on that area, your heart and your soul, soothing as you exhale. And just let my words guide you. If things come into your head, that's fine. Just notice, acknowledge them, and invite them to move as you breathe, as you exhale. If your head gets busy, then just refocus as you exhale. Just invite whatever's going on in your head to sink downwards. Focus again on your heart centre. And while you're in this comfortable, safe place. Really tune in to your heart. Listen to your heart and your soul. And start to let your mind wander. It can wander now with a bit of direction. And start to welcome any questions that you might have. You might have one very clear question that you want to ask. That might be the reason you're doing this. That's fine. Ask that question out loud if you like as you're breathing, or just in your mind. It's up to you. If you haven't prepared a question, that is fine. Just let your breathing and your heart speak, and remember to listen. Just see what questions come up for you. One question, many questions. There's no right or wrong. Just as you're breathing, tuning into your heart, to your soul, your intuition. Just gently pose whatever question comes to mind, or whatever you really want an answer to. And tune into your heart as you breathe. And listen. Notice what comes up for you. Feel what you feel, any emotions that might rise, and notice. You might hear words, you might see visions, pictures, whatever works for you. You might have questions like, what do I really want? Which path shall I take? Which is the right decision? Any question you like, you can actually use this process to tune in to your true soul purpose and be aligned and get the answers that you need. And what will happen is your mind will go into its natural state of problem solving. But I'm going to ask you to resist that if you can. Might take a bit of getting used to. And if your mind starts perhaps planning, making a to-do list, doing what it does naturally, we're very good at solving problems and answering questions with our head, with our intellect. I'd ask you just to, as you exhale, just move those thoughts away from your head and into your heart again. Focusing as you breathe on your heart center, your intuition, your soul. And just pose those questions gently and softly. One question or many, it doesn't matter. And resist answering those questions with your head. Let your heart speak and listen. Notice what you notice. Feel what you feel. You might not get answers instantly, and that is fine. Sometimes answers come later on at a different time, or you might be feeling guided. Trust whatever comes up for you, and know that this is a practice. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. Just start to breathe in and out, just knowing that you have the capability, you can do this anytime you want to, of breathing in, tuning into your heart, posing a question, just gently and kindly, and listening to the stillness and the peace, letting your heart speak instead of your head. Know that you have all the answers you need already inside you. We just need to get good at asking and listening to what comes up for us. Again, there's no right or wrong. And now just know that this little practice is there for you anytime you want to pose a question, find an answer. Let all the things that came up in your mind and your heart just fade away now as you breathe. Don't need to hold on to anything. What you need to remember, you will remember. And just come back to your natural rhythm of breath, breathing in gently and slowly. Exhaling long, deep and slow, settling, soothing, calming your mind and body. Start slowly and gently to come back to awareness of your feet, your body, your legs, your arms, how your head feels supported and safe. Notice the temperature in the room. Take note of any sounds you might hear and just slowly and gently becoming aware. Start to wiggle toes and fingers if you want to. Open your eyes if you close them and come back to now. Come back to reality. Have a yawn and a shake and roll of your shoulders if you want to. Maybe wiggle your toes and fingers and coming back to reality. Ready to face the rest of your day, whatever you're doing next. But as I say, know that this little practice is something you can use whenever you want to ask questions of yourself and listen to the answers. Thank you for listening to the Calmer Self podcast. Please rate and review. And if you want support, advice, accountability and inspiration to make the changes you need to manage your stress and live your life with ease and joy, check out the Calmer Self Facebook page. There's also more information on LinkedIn, Nadine award-winning changemaker, and please visit my website www.calmerself.co.uk.